老师 how do you say to borrow? That is 借 And how do you say to lend? That is also 借 Then how do I know which one you are talking about in a sentence? I'm sure this kind of scenario is familiar to you after learning Chinese for a while. Why 借 means both borrow and lend. Why 带 means both take and bring. Isn't it confusing? Well, actually, this kind of phenomenon is not unique in Chinese. I'm sure that when you learn any foreign language, you will find something so different from your own language or something that don't seem to make sense. For instance, in French, salut means both hi and goodbye. How can two totally different things can share the same word and seems to be working quite well? So this does also happens in Chinese. Chinese is a language which often depends more on the context and implicit logic rather than set basic rules. So as long as there's a context to support, it's very easy to understand a sentence without any confusion. First, let's see two conversations. I'm going to tell you where it happens. The first one is a conversation happens in a store. Two friends are doing shopping. A says, 我想买这个但是钱不够，你能借我100块钱吗？没问题，给你。Since you know the background of this conversation, so it's quite clear that 借 here means to lend. I want to buy this, but I don't have enough money. Can you lend me 100 块? Okay, the second conversation. This conversation happens in the library between a student and the librarian. 我可以借2本书吗？不行，一次只能借1本。So you know where this conversation is happening? So it's quite clear that here the 借 means to borrow. Can I borrow 2 books? No, you can borrow only 1 book at a time. You see, since we know the environment that the conversations occurred, it's very easy to understand the first one, the 借 means to lend, and the second conversation, it means to borrow. There's no confusion. So in these two conversations, the context was provided by the environment, the background. The context also can be given by the sentence that comes before or after the sentence where 借 appears. For example, 他借了我100块钱，现在还没还。With the second part of the sentence, you know that 借 here means borrow. He borrowed 100 块 from me and still hasn't paid me back. 他借了我100块钱，现在还没还。Another example, 我买房子的时候钱不够，他借了我2万块。So listening to the first part of the sentence, you know that here 借 means to lend. I didn't have enough money when I bought the house, so he lent me 20,000 块。我买房子的时候钱不够，他借了我2万块。Okay, I know that there could be situations that you don't have any context to help you to understand the meaning. Like, 不要借他钱. It could mean don't lend him money or don't borrow money from him. And the sentence, 他借了我2万块. If you only say this single sentence, it could mean both he lent me 20,000 kwai or he borrowed 20,000 kwai from me. But don't worry, Chinese is a developed language. In these kind of situations, we have solutions to express the precise meaning. We just need to add some prepositions. To say, don't borrow money from him, it's 不要向他借钱 or 不要跟他借钱 Here, 向 or 跟 are the prepositions that make the sentence very precise. And to say, don't lend him money, is 不要给他 借钱。Here we use the preposition 给，不要给他借钱。One more example to make sure that you remember it. To say, he borrowed 20,000 kwai from me. It's 他向我借了2万块 or 他跟我借了2万块 And to say, he lent me 20,000 kwai, it's 他给我借了2万块他给我借了2万块 Yes, I know you guys love the example sentences. It surely can help us to understand and observe the knowledge better. Don't forget, in our flashcards, there are also plenty of example sentences with colorful images also. It can make your study more fun. Check them out if you haven't yet. The link is in the description box. The word 带 is even easier. When you learn Chinese, you don't need to always think about the literal translation in English or in other language. Instead, it's better you just focus on the Chinese definition of the word. In Chinese, the word 带 only means to have something or someone along with you. It doesn't matter the direction. So in the following example sentences, just to keep this definition in your mind, you will see it's quite easy to understand. But anyway, I will put the English translation underneath just as a reference. 我没带钱包。我没带钱包。下次去的时候别忘了带身份证。下次去的时候别忘了带身份证。我们就来这里住3天，你怎么带这么多衣服？我们就来这里住3天，你怎么带这么多衣服？没有人帮他看孩子，他只好带女儿去上班。没有人帮他看孩子，他只好带女儿去上班。Okay, that is the content for today. I hope it helped you understand the word 借 and 带 better and also help you to understand the Chinese language a little better and makes you more confident to learn Chinese. 好的，谢谢你收看我的视频，那我们下次再见吧，再见。